So let's now fetch and display all these stored chat messages from inside this chat messages widget here. For that here, in this build method, I want to return a stream builder widget. And you learned about the stream builder before. You saw it in the main Dart file. There we used stream builder to be notified about any auth changes. So a user logging in or logging out, for example. Now I want to use it to listen to a stream of messages so that whenever a new message is submitted, it's automatically loaded and displayed here. And we can use Stream Builder here because Firebase and these Firebase packages support this stream concept. For that, we need to set the stream parameter here of the Stream Builder to a stream value. And that stream value will be provided by Firebase Firestore instance. And then there we can reach out to a collection, the chat collection, because that's the name I chose for storing all these messages. And on that collection, we can call snapshots. And snapshots will yield such a stream. Therefore, we can use it as a value for a stream here. And in the end, what this will do is it will set up a listener which automatically listens to this remote database and there to the chat collection. And whenever a new document is added here, it will automatically notify our app here, or this Firebase package will automatically be made aware of that, to be precise. And it will then trigger this builder function here again, so that we can update the UI whenever a new document is added to this collection. Therefore, here, of course, we must add a builder method, and this builder method will get a context object automatically and our chat snapshots object. Both values will be passed in automatically by Flutter in the end, by Flutter working together with the Firebase package, you could say. And chat snapshots will be in the end an object that gives us access to the data that was loaded from the backend, so from Firebase. Here in the builder, we can then use this chat snapshots object to, for example, evaluate the connection state. And if that's equal to connection state waiting, we know that we're still waiting to receive some data. In that case, we could return a center widget that displays a circular progress indicator, for example, so that we show a loading spinner whilst we're waiting for chat messages to arrive. We also might end up in a state where we have no chat messages. So here I want to check if chat snapshots has data is false by adding an exclamation mark at the beginning, or if chat snapshots data, if we have data, if that is actually an empty list, if we have no documents in our collection. For that, we can use the docs property here, and docs will in the end yield a list. We can check if that is empty. Now, data here theoretically could be null, though it won't be if has data is true. So if this condition is checked, we know that data won't be null. So then I can add an exclamation mark here. But of course, the docs could be an empty list. So therefore, here I'm checking whether we maybe don't have data despite being done with loading, or we have data but it's an empty list. And if that's the case, I want to show this here as a fallback message. Ultimately, if we make it past both if checks, we know that we have data. And then I want to return a list view, using the list view builder constructor to build such a performance optimized scrollable list of data. By the way, we also might want to check for errors by taking a look at chat snapshots has error. And if that's the case, we might to output the error message, or at least output a text widget that's centered where we say something went wrong. But thereafter, we can display our list view. And then here we have this builder function where we also get this context object and then the index of the item that is currently being rendered. And then here we have to return our list items. We also have to set an item count, and that item count, of course, is based on our documents here. So here we can use chat snapshots data docs to get our loaded messages in the end, like this. And we know that data won't be null here, because otherwise we would have made it into this if check here. And then it's loaded messages.length. That's our item count here. And then here for a start, to keep things simple for now, for every item in this item builder function, I just want to output a text widget where I simply output the text that was stored for this chat message. So that was stored in this text field here. And that can be done by accessing loaded messages for the index for which we're currently rendering an item. And then there we can call the data method to get access to the underlying map. And therefore on that map, we can then use the square brackets to access the text field. So the value that's stored under a key text in that map. If we save that and we reload, we should see these chat messages here on this screen. I also want to make sure that they are always ordered like that. The order is actually correct here, but to make sure that it will always be correct, we can also fine-tune this query here, which we assigned to stream. And before calling snapshots, after a collection, we can squeeze in the order by method, on which result you can still call snapshots, to define how these collection documents should be ordered. And order by allows you to specify a key that must be present in your document, for example, created at, which is what I'll use here. And then as a second parameter value, as a second argument after created at, you define whether you want to sort in ascending or descending order. And here I'll set descending to false. To in the end make sure that the latest message will be displayed at the bottom. With that, I got the same order as before, but now I'm making sure that I will always have this order. And most importantly, you learned about the order by method here. But that's how we can now load and display that data with help of Firebase Firestore and the Stream Builder. And whenever we add a new message, like this should work, you see that's added here automatically. We don't have to manage any state manually. We don't have to do anything like that. We just submit the data, and then thanks to this stream here, so to this listener, which we in the end have here, it's all updated automatically thereafter.